Hey everybody, Dr. Diane here. Welcome back to my channel. We're talking today about POTS, dysautonomia, your nervous system, and what you can do about it. If you haven't watched my last video, go back and watch it because we talked about root causes of POTS and dysautonomia. So make sure you do watch that video so you understand. Now, this video, I want to tell you about one of my new favorite treatments. So remember from the last video, one of the things I was talking about is with dysautonomia, we have improper response and signaling from the nervous system. That is what's creating those POTS symptoms. That is what's creating that feeling of fainting, of lightheadedness, of dissociation, etc. Is the nervous system is not sending the correct signal to the body. This can be through many different things. Again, we talked about that in the last video. And we do want to address the root causes. But so much of the time what happens with POTS and what I've seen in my 15 years of clinical practice is that the nervous system, through inflammation, through so many different things, gets stuck in a pattern. And it's sending the wrong signal to your body over and over again. And when we pattern that enough times, it becomes a habit. Remember, anything we do over and over and over again, the nervous system remembers. This is why riding a bike for most people is like, hey, it's super easy. If you haven't done it in years, you remember how to do it because it's so wired. When we wire something strongly enough, the pattern sticks. And so with dysautonomia, the pattern is part of it, is this dysfunctional relationship between the nervous system signaling properly to the circulatory system. So when you change posturally, for example, the nervous system does not tell your circulatory system to increase that blood pressure and pump more blood to your head, for example, and you feel dizzy. So because of that, we need to continually remind the nervous system that we want it to behave differently, that we want it to send a different signal and act the way it's supposed to act. But like any new habit for the nervous system to override that old bad habit, it creates consistency. It needs consistency to rewire the patterns. So we want to get to the root, but we also got to rewire the patterns. And I'm really excited about the TruVega vagal nerve stimulator for this. So I want to tell you a little bit about my experience, teach you how to use it. But if you have POTS or dysautonomia, I would really encourage you to consider this. So I try as many things as possible on myself before recommending them because I like to make sure I'm recommending good things to you guys, right? So one of the things I decided to test is to see if my HRV would improve with this TruVega. So the HRV is heart rate variability. So the heart rate variability is looking at how many beats per minute we have. And we used to think that we would want consistent beats, but no matter what, you want consistency in your heart rate. Over time, we learn in medicine that this is not true. We want variability. So what that means is the heart rate beats like slightly different at different points of the day, right? It's variable. This tells us that the heart and the circulatory system have the ability to be flexible, right? That is a sign of health. My HRV has been low despite all of my amazing healing and feeling very, very, very well in my life. One of the things I've noticed in tracking my HRV is that it's lower than I would like it to be. So I've been using this device. I'm going to show you how to use it for about a couple weeks now. And while I have not seen what I want to see yet happen with that, what I have seen is something different that is amazing. So for this, one of the things that I also had going on was I was having some sort of neck pain. And I figured it was from the way I'm lifting at the gym, etc. But as it turns out, 2 weeks of using this and my neck pain is 95% gone. So now what I believe was happening is through stress, and I know I'm a grinder, I wear a night guard at night, I think the stress, I've been holding tension in my jaw, and that was radiating down to my neck. And I've also noticed that areas of my face, like here, that were extremely tender are like way less tender. So that's super interesting, especially because I know a lot of you that are listening probably also have some level of chronic pain. So again, we want to get to all of the roots. And like I said in the last video, it's not going to be just one thing, but we definitely want the nervous system in that parasympathetic, that rest and digest and heal state in order to help you, in order to get over the POTS, in order to get the nervous system firing correctly. And I'm pretty impressed so far with this device. So in order to use it, what you do is you get this spray. It comes with it. It's a conductor. It helps the signal connect to your vagal nerve. You put an app on your phone. It's a super easy to use app. You find your pulse on your neck. That's basically where you'll find your vagal nerve. And you spray this spray there, right? The conductor spray. And then you simply hold it here and you turn it up on your phone on the app. What you'll find is that there'll be, if you add it place right and you turn the intensity up, it can feel pretty intense. Not pain, but definitely like a lot of sensation. If you're not feeling like much, that means you're slightly off, usually oftentimes just a millimeter or two, and you can move it just a tiny bit and you should be able to then feel it. So if you're worried at all about like, will you be able to find this? My 11-year-old stepson uses this and he finds he can figure it out very, very easily. So I know it's super easy to use. So I don't think you're going to have any problems with that whatsoever. But again, I'm really impressed with this. I'm going to put a couple discount codes under this video for you. So make sure you look for those. Now, what you're going to find is there's 2 different products on their website. The difference of them is the cheaper of the products has 200 uses only. The more expensive product, which is about $150 more or so, is unlimited uses for 3 years. For most people, if you have POTS and you can afford it, I would encourage you to go with the one that is more expensive because, again, we want this new habit and it might take some time. Again, I'm having very fast results. But for it to really hold, my suspicion is I'm going to have to keep doing it because the nervous system, when it's wired and you do the same thing over and over again, like, we brush our teeth the same way. If you brush your teeth, it's probably with your dominant hand. If you've ever tried brushing with your other hand, it might feel a little awkward, right? Because we do something the same way over and over and over again. And that is how our nervous system is wired to respond. So it doesn't take a lot of time. They suggest 2 minutes twice a day. I've been using it anywhere between 2 to 4 times, oftentimes 3 or 4 times a day, but it's still only 6 to 8 minutes. But 4 minutes a day is their recommendation. So it's very easy to get results with not a lot of time, especially when you don't feel well and especially when, there's a lot of other things from a nervous system reset standpoint that just takes so much more time. So I'm excited about this. I'm impressed with it so far. And that's why I got you guys some coupon codes as well. So that will hopefully help you out. If you have any questions, please do leave it in the comments. I'm happy to read them and make a follow-up video with any questions you all have on this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all soon.